So I'm on day 10 of my burnout recovery journey and doing a mini retreat of sorts. Not the full on immersive retreat, but a mini one before I go off on a family holiday, and hopefully I'll get more insights there. But yesterday, an insight came up. It was the words of the Persian poet Rumi. He said, "The wound is the place where light enters you." And when I first experienced burnout, I don't think I could see that at all. It just felt like suffering, something to get through, something to recover from. But over the last few weeks, something has started changing. One of the questions that we often search for when we've burnt out is, how do I recover? What do I need to do? And that's what I thought was the question that I was asking and exploring. But whilst doing this mini retreat, it's simply just walking and exploring and noticing things, and I'll share them with you as I notice them. Something unexpected happened. I went for a long walk without my phone, no distractions, wasn't listening to a podcast, didn't need to be anywhere. And I felt all I had was space for my mind to settle, to become a little quieter. And with that quiet mind came this fresh idea, this insight. And I wasn't expecting it. I realized I was beginning to think about burnout the way I think about infectious diseases or chronic health conditions as an epidemiologist, the same way I would think about an outbreak and how we solve that outbreak. So not looking first for solutions, but looking for patterns. And most importantly, something that I would teach students when I was working at a university, it's ask better questions. Don't just memorize facts. Don't memorize a theory, but become good at asking the right questions. Trying to understand what sits beneath what we're seeing, because that's really what epidemiology and public health is all about. We don't begin by asking, how do we fix this immediately? Instead, we begin by asking, why is this happening? Who is it affecting? And what do these different experiences have in common? Most importantly, what might we be missing? And it struck me that this is exactly where my curiosity's been taking me. Now, I've been looking back at my own experiences, from burning out as a junior doctor, working with business owners and entrepreneurs in their businesses and seeing them facing burnout, working with leaders in organizations, the intrapreneurs, those who use entrepreneurial thinking to find solutions to problems at scale. And at first, they felt like completely different stories, different pressures, different environments, different responsibilities. But now, I'm becoming curious about the patterns beneath them. Not just what was different, but what's shared between them. So over the last few years, I've been exploring the relationship between thought and experience. Not just as how we have issues with our well-being, but also how our thinking can help us innovate and be creative about building solutions to problems. And this isn't a new interest, but burnout has taken me deeper than I think theory could ever do. It's one to understand something intellectually, but it's another thing to find ourselves caught in the middle of the very thing we're trying to understand. And one question keeps returning. Across all these different experiences, what was really happening? So the circumstances were different. Those differences do matter, whether we have a physical health condition, a mental health condition, our environment, all of these things matter, our relationships at home, at work. But I'm also becoming increasingly curious about something else. The role our thinking plays in how we experience all of those things, and then how we can influence change too. Not because thought explains everything. Maybe it does, but not because of that, but instead because it's It seems to be part of every story. And perhaps that's what burnout is giving me. Not answers, but better questions. So when I first started recording these reflections, I thought I was documenting my burnout recovery journey. But now I realize I'm documenting something else, like more of an investigation. Maybe an investigation into not just what creates burnout, something more than that. I think it's an investigation into what creates our ability to thrive as humans. Because if all we study is suffering, I think we'll become better experts at suffering. But what really interests me in particular is the opposite. What allows thoughtful, caring, innovative, high responsibility, entrepreneurial people to continue doing the meaningful work that they're here to do, but without losing themselves in the process. That's what I want for myself. I want to continue my journey in improving health and well-being, but I don't want to keep burning out. Why do some people emerge from adversity with greater clarity? What creates resilience? Is it even something to create? What creates well-being? I thought I knew the answers, but right now, given I've burnt out again, I'm becoming more curious about exploring this further. And I genuinely don't know where this investigation is going to lead. But I do know this. Some of you have been reaching out to me, whether as comments below these or even in personal messages, emails. You know who you are. Every comment you shared with me, every insight, every story, every reflection has become part of this. So thank you. Please keep them coming. Because I think the answers won't come from me or any one of us alone. I think they're going to emerge through the patterns that we begin to notice together. And maybe that's what Rumi, the poet, meant. Perhaps the wound isn't the end of the story. Perhaps it's the place where a different way of seeing begins. I'll see you in the next reflection.